Okay, we are working on the Green Big Ideas Record and Practice Journal, and today we're working on 7.5, and our focus today is inequalities. We're actually introduced to a couple new symbols today. First, we have the old standard ones, greater than, less than, and again, I put the ESS in there just so I remember which one is less than. And then we also are introduced to greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to. And we use those symbols when we're dealing with inequalities. So number one, write the word sentence as an inequality. A number n is at least 4. Well, we have to write it using one of those new symbols. So we take a number n, and then we say it's at least 4. So we know 4 is going to be over here. And when we say at least 4, that means it could be 4. So we're going to use our equal sign, but it has to be at least 4. So it's going to be n is greater than or less than 4. N is greater than or less than 4. Number 3, it says tell whether the given value is a solution of the inequality. We did this a little bit similar on 7.4. We have 4x, again, is less than, put my ESS in there, 4x is less than or equal to 20. If they're telling us x equals 2, we need to plug in the 2 for the x. Remember, a letter next to a number means multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. Then I just want to recopy the symbol. And then see if it does indeed make sense. I'm going to change my color here so I can get my ESS in there. And so we have 8 is less than or equal to 20. Is 8 less than or equal to 20? The answer is yes. It just has to be one of those two things, less than or equal to 20. And then finally we have to graph the inequality, and I apologize, it looks like my inequality got kind of blurry here with the copying. 5, it's x is less than 5. X is less than 5. So we need to graph the inequality on the number line, and here's what we're going to do. We're just going to put 5 in the middle. Then we're going to count up 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to count down 4, 3, 2. And there's a couple other things. Remember we talked about those new symbols, greater than, less than, and then greater than, equal to, and less than and equal to. Well, we have to do a couple things. When we're graphing them, if it's just greater than and less than, we do a kind of an open circle. If it's greater than or equal to or less than or equal to, we actually shade the circle in. And you'll kind of figure out what I'm talking about as we do this next example. Number 5 here. X is less than 5. Now because it's less than, we're just going to circle the 5, or the little hash mark where the 5 is, where the 5 represents. And we want our answers to be, for x, anything less than 5. So we know our answers. 5 is not going to work because it has to be less than 5. But 4 works, 3 works, and 2 works. And of course, any number this direction would be a solution to the inequality. So we're going to draw an arrow sort of indicating that all of these numbers are answers to this inequality. And how do I know? Well, I can plug it in. 4 is less than 5. 3 is less than 5. 2 is less than 5. And obviously it keeps going on forever here down the number line. Now, I know I don't have this example on here, but if it would have been less than or equal to, then I would have shaded it in. I would have drew the circle around 5, but I would have shaded it in. So less than or equal to and greater than and equal to, you have to have the circle shaded in when you're graphing your inequalities. So essentially, folks, 7.5 is 3 things. Write the inequalities, tell whether the inequality is a solution, so we have to solve the inequality, and then finally we have to graph the inequality on a number line. So write, solve, and graph your inequalities on 7.5.